Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video I'm doing another side-by-side comparison of two sunscreens which are both from the same brand, and both of them I've been using, trying and testing out, and actually loving both of them quite a bit. I will say that they are for different purposes, which is why I wanted to do this side-by-side comparison. Okay, when I say purposes, I didn't really mean the word literally. I meant they're both kind of geared for different times. Like, it's not like they're competing with each other, because I feel like they're different enough for me where I know which one I want to use when. Before I go on this tangent, I want to tell you what those two sunscreens are. The first one is the Dr. Sheths Ceramide and Vitamin C sunscreen, which you can see has been very well used and loved, and this is my second tube, by the way. And then the newer one, like, I wouldn't say this is newer to me, and I believe even when they launched this one first and then they launched this, I believe. So the newer one is the Haldi and Hyaluronic acid sunscreen. Both of them have SPF 50. This is SPF 50 plus and this is SPF 50. So I'm not sure if, like, when they did the testing for the SPF, maybe this one had like an SPF more than 50, but they just labeled it as SPF 50, which is why they say 50 plus, and this one just says SPF 50. Both of them have 3 pluses. This one says anti-pollution and anti-visible light. This one says hydrating, brightening, and no white cast. I will say both of these don't give you a white cast at all. And then the ingredients that they're calling out are also different for both. The only common one is 1% hyaluronic acid. So this one has 1% ceramide complex, 2% vitamin C complex, 1% hyaluronic acid, as well as mineral filters and organic filters. The filters that I see in here are zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, and of course there are a bunch of other ingredients and extracts, and just a ton of great ingredients in here. And then this one, the Haldi and Hyaluronic acid sunscreen, has 1% hyaluronic acid, 1% turmeric extract, which is the Haldi obviously, and then this also says it has organic and mineral filters. So the filters that I see in your okay, so this one has titanium dioxide as well as zinc oxide, but it's much lower on the list as compared to in this one. Titanium dioxide is the second ingredient and zinc oxide is a little bit lower, but still not as low as in this one. So yeah, I'm not trying to say that this one has less protection as compared to this one or anything like that. It's just the blend of ingredients. And if I have to tell you, this one definitely feels more like a mineral sunscreen in terms of initially it can look a little bit more white on the skin, and you'll see in the application clips later also that this is more pasty, creamy white on the skin, whereas this one is more like a gel lotion cream, where it is white, but when you actually see the texture in your own hands, you will see how lightweight and gel like it is. So that's why I feel like the ingredients are not as high up on the list, which means that there are a bunch of other filters in here and a bunch of other ingredients that are making it that way, where it's more comfortable, more lightweight. Definitely will not give you any kind of white cast at all. But yeah, today we're going to be comparing these two sunscreens and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on them and how I feel about them. But before that, I'm going to show you the application clips. So let's jump into that first, so you can see what these products apply and look like, and then I will come back with my final thoughts and review and how I feel like these two compare to each other. Okay, so we have both the sunscreens with me right here right now. The Ceramide and Vitamin C sunscreen I'm going to be applying on this side of my face, and Haldi and Hyaluronic acid sunscreen I'm going to be applying on this side of my face. Now this one, like you can see, has been very, very well loved. In fact, this is my second tube and I'm going to be out of it very soon, because literally, I'm not joking you guys, I've been using this every day. I feel like right now when I'm filming this, we still have like 2 weeks left in the month of February. Today is the 13th. So yeah, we still have like 2 weeks left. So I'm like, I want to use all my winter focused products, and like I'm trying to use them up as much as I possibly can, because once like summer rolls around for 3 months, I'm not going to be able to use anything. Also, can you see how creamy this is? I really want to show you how creamy it is, because I always keep talking about how this is great for people who have drier skin. So yeah, it's creamy, but then it like blends in just like a moisturizer would. Do you see? I mean, there's a little bit of like, you can tell this part is a little whiter probably than the rest of my face, but once you blend everything in and once you let it settle for a couple of minutes, trust me, there is absolutely no white cast. Like, I want to tell you what happened yesterday. So I was kind of in a rush and I just took a glob of sunscreen in my hand and just slathered it all over my face, and I had definitely taken way too much product, okay, but still I didn't get a white cast. You just have to wait for it to get absorbed, and once it gets absorbed, like, you're good. I will not say the same thing about another sunscreen that I was also trying out recently, the Dot & Key one, the one that everyone has been hyping and like raving about. I do not like that one as much as this, to be completely honest. But yeah, can you see like how creamy this one is? But it still blends in so beautifully to the skin. Like, now I feel like you cannot tell between both sides ki ek side pe sunscreen hai, dusre side pe sunscreen hai bhi nahi. You cannot tell. Like, seriously, can you tell? I absolutely cannot tell a difference. Now, moving on to this one right here, the Haldi and Hyaluronic Acid Sunscreen. This one again, thoda sa, matlab, if I keep it in the light, it's got a little bit of a white tinge to it. Not white tinge, sorry, yellow tinge, like haldi ka color basically. So now this one is way more like lotiony, lightweight, gel like, if you can see. Feels a little cooling also on the skin, to be honest. And this one also looks like it's creamy, but it's not. It's very lightweight, and I wouldn't say people with super duper oily skin will love this, but if you have like normal combination oily skin, like that kind of skin type, I feel like you will really like this. If you have proper like oily skin, then I would just suggest like silicone sunscreens to you, to be honest, because they definitely mattify the skin more than anything else. So yeah, but if you're someone who doesn't like a chipchipa sunscreen, and you want something lightweight like for the summers, I am going to use, and this settled into such a nice like finish. It's not tacky to the touch or anything. I just have a little left, so I'm going to put it on the back of my neck, because that is one area where people tend to forget. So whenever I take too much sunscreen in my hand, I just put everything on the back of my neck. So yeah, when you look side by side, I feel like this side actually looks a little dewier as compared to this side, but I will say this side feels a little bit more moisturized than this side, which is again why I keep saying that, you know, this one is a great dry skin sunscreen, whereas this is a more normal combination skin sunscreen. But yeah, when you look at both sides in comparison, there is a difference. I will say that, like, this side looks more radiant in my opinion, whereas this side looks a little bit more just moisturized, glowy and nice. Especially here, I feel like you can really tell a difference on both sides. This side is not as glowy and this side is more glowy. But yeah, in terms of if I'm touching both the sides, this side feels more juicy but not sticky, and this side also I feel like it's drying down now, so there is a tack for sure, but once it dries down, it completely dries down. Like, there is no like sticky finish or anything at all. But yeah, I would say personally, just based on using both the products individually as well, I feel like this one, you cannot see much of a use on it because this is going to be used a lot in the summers for sure. I feel like I'm gonna like this way more, whereas this one I'm gonna give it a break. But once November rolls around again and winter rolls around, I'm gonna be repurchasing the sunscreen so often. I'm gonna buy like a ton of backups. So yeah, that's my review so far, applying both of them side by side. And I will be doing makeup today once I'm done with breakfast. So once I do my makeup, I will come back to you and share my final thoughts on how the two apply, like how they basically wear and perform under makeup and what makeup looks like on top of them. So yeah. Okay, so now that you've seen the application and the way they apply on the skin, I want to talk to you about how they wear under makeup. So when I was applying both of these on my face, I did not notice any kind of patchiness or like my loose powder that is caking up on top of it. I want to tell you what makeup I did today, and this is the makeup that I do pretty much every single day. So I applied these sunscreens and then I went for breakfast, and when I came back, I just took my K-Beauty loose powder with a buffing brush and applied it all over my face. That's what I do pretty much every day when I'm wearing makeup. That's the only makeup I wear. So I wanted to make sure that I wanted to see basically how these apply under my regular makeup routine. So they fared very well. I was expecting, if I'm gonna be honest, that the Ceramide and Vitamin C sunscreen might look a little bit cakey or patchy of sorts, because this is more of a creamier formulation as compared to the other one. But I have to tell you that if you just let your sunscreen sit and settle down for a couple of minutes before you put on makeup on top of it, like I gave it maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes, I want to say. Like I made myself coffee, I had breakfast, and I was doing my thing. So before I actually put makeup on, I gave it like a good half an hour, 45 minutes break in the middle, in which the sunscreen did settle on my skin very well. And then in fact both the sunscreens, I should not say sunscreen, I should say sunscreens, both the sunscreens settled on my skin really well. And then when I put makeup on, it was flawless. There was absolutely no problem at all. Now when it comes to my final review and my thoughts to share on both these products, if you're going to ask me to pick and choose one and tell you which is my favorite among the two, I have to be honest, I personally cannot do that because both of them are my favorite. And like I've told you in multiple other videos where I also speak about it, I feel like both of them have a different purpose for me. Like if I think about one calendar year and I think about, okay, which sunscreen will I use in which months and which sunscreen will I use in the other months, I will personally tell you that in the months of winter when my skin is getting more dry, so November, December, Jan and February, my favorite sunscreen is going to be the Ceramide and Vitamin C sunscreen. Like I told you, I did not even use this the entire year this year in the winter, but I'm still going to be out of like 2 tubes in this span, like in the winter basically. And if I had to use this constantly throughout the entire winter, I would easily go through like 5 or 6 of it, I feel, considering that one tube lasts me 2 to 3 weeks if I'm using this every single day as my sunscreen. So yeah, if I do the math that way, it will take me roughly it'll take me those many tubes and in that specific time span and duration. Whereas in the more hotter humid months, considering I live in Mumbai, and I feel like I did not mention my skin type. I didn't mention it in the application clip, but yeah, in case you missed that, my skin type was way more oily earlier, and now I would say it's a little bit more normal combination. And of course in the winters everyone's skin gets drier than it usually is, but I live in hot and humid Mumbai, so considering how sweaty it is and how hot it is over here, I feel like the Haldi and Hyaluronic acid sunscreen is gonna be way up, like it's gonna be up my alley way more as we head into March, April and the months of May. So even though this has a creamy finish, I would not say that it's like completely like a gel sunscreen. It's not like the Lotus UV like matte screen gel sunscreen. It's not silicone or anything at all, but it has that moisturized finish while being a gel that blends really well and that does not feel very heavy on the skin. So that's how I feel about this, and I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this more like throughout the year from March up until October basically. So that's how I feel about this particular sunscreen, and I will tell you, they both work for different purposes, different times of the year for me, depending on the season, depending on the climate, and depending on how dry or not dry my skin feels. So I would say that I hope this review was helpful to you, and you can you can decide based on your skin type and based on the sunscreens that you like which one you would personally prefer. I would recommend both, and I know I will repurchase both on my own depending on like what time of the year I'm gonna be buying them. So that was it for my review. I don't want to make this video super duper long, but yes, if you have any further questions and you would like to ask me anything more about either of these products, please leave a comment down below and let me know. And let me know what other sunscreens you want me to either try, or if you want me to compare two sunscreens that I already have in my collection and do a side-by-side on those. Let me know down below as well in the comment section. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye bye.